Please be seated. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Lake Douglas, an Associate Dean of the College of Art and Design and professor at the Robert Reich School of Landscape Architecture. It gives me great pleasure to welcome you all to the College of Art and Design Diploma ceremony. Let me start by first introducing some of the people on the stage. Please stand as I call your name. Professor Tom Safranco, Associate Dean of the College and Professor of Architecture. Tom will be presenting the candidates later in the proceedings and will also be our speaker today. Professor Marwan Gandour, Professor and Director of the School of Architecture. Professor Rod Parker, Professor and Director of the School of Art. Professor Marcia Cuddeback, Professor and Director of the School of Interior Design. Professor Mark Boyer, Professor and Director of the Robert Reich School of Landscape Architecture. Professor Michael Desmond, Professor of Architecture, Director of Graduate Studies for the College, and Director of the Doctor of Design program. Dr. Desmond is representing the Doctor of Design and the Graduate School today. Next, I'd like to recognize the staff of the college. Would you all please stand wherever you are? They're scattered all over the building, front, back, rear, everywhere. The staff are the ones that coordinate, organize, synchronize, and harmonize to keep us all on track. We owe today's wonderful event and many other events in our college lives to their labors. And I believe there are more than a few of our graduates who would tell you that they've all made it to this point because of the caring and involvement of the staff. Let's thank them for their efforts with a round of well-deserved applause. Next, it gives me great pleasure to introduce the College of Art and Design faculty. These professors and instructors are the creative spirits that inhabit and move the college. They create the academic journey, and they also serve to guide our students through it. Semester after semester, year after year, they inspire, hope, ignite the imagination, and shape the character, caliber, and future of our students. Thank you all. It is truly a privilege to call you colleagues. Please stand and be recognized. At this time, I would like to recognize two faculty members who have truly stood the test of time. Professor Gerald Bauer of the School of Art and Professor Max Conrad of the Robert Reich School of Landscape Architecture were recently recognized at the university for completing 55 years of teaching service. Please stand so we can acknowledge your contribution to the schools, the college, and LSU for the last half century. What a tremendous accomplishment. Finally, I would also like to ask any LSU College of Art and Design alumni who are attending our ceremony today to please stand. You are our best role models for the new alums and our best delegates to the world to promote the values of the discipline. We all appreciate your being here and all that you've done throughout the year. Our first speakers today are Madeline Kirshner and Alyssa Gill from the Robert Reich School of Landscape Architecture. Speaking on behalf of the class of 2022. Madeline is receiving her bachelor's in landscape architecture. She is the vice president of the LSU Student Chapter of Landscape Architects and represents students from around the country as the National Student Trustee for the American Society of Landscape Architects. Alyssa is receiving her master's in landscape architecture today. Her graduate thesis focused on the intersections of landscape, design, identity, and storytelling, particularly in the Filipino community of Stockton, California. She has served on the ad hoc committee, Landscape Architects for Black Lives, as well as executive board of LSU student chapter of the American Society of Landscape Architects. In 2021, both Madeline and Alyssa became nominees for the Landscape Architecture Foundation's Olmsted Scholars Program, a really prestigious honor. Madeline and Alyssa, please address the graduates.
Hello, everyone. We are incredibly grateful for the opportunity and honored to speak to our fellow graduates today and to be in the presence of your loved ones. Without their support and encouragement throughout this journey, no doubt many of us would not be where we are today.
We also want to acknowledge that we would not be here without the support of our peers. Without their senses of humor, constant reassurance, and genuine feedback, the studio would have looked so different.
Our time in art and design school has been unpredictable, to say the least. One might even call the chaos of school during a global pandemic a mess. We know that the real world isn't quite like design school. Not every problem will be clearly definable. Each design will not have a clean solution, a beautiful render, an endless budget, or a room full of your closest friends. We will all encounter something we have never handled before. The rhythms of school are readjusted, but do not forget the incredible new skills we bring on this part of the journey.
Life, post-graduation, can feel chaotic. In this time of transition, we move away from a place we have called home for many years. We say goodbye for now to our good friends and our mentors. We meet new friends, struggle to find community, start new opportunities, and inevitably face the emotional, physical, and professional challenges that come with change. The turbulence of post-undergrad life can feel like a mess.
And that's what we want to talk about today. The messy stuff. How to show up and keep moving through the chaos. How do we show up in our lives, professionally, for ourselves, and for others?
As landscape architects, we are taught to seek community input to steer our designs. We thought that we would do the same for this speech. We asked our fellow graduating students for input on what they would say at graduation, or what they have learned throughout their time at LSU, and we have incorporated their words throughout.
While we have vision as designers, it is not all about us. Showing up for others and our communities is one of our most important jobs. Through our collaboration and active listening, we acknowledge that the best ideas come from a variety of voices. This can be hard at first, learning to drop the ego, but by uplifting others' ideas, as we've seen in the studio, and listening to ideas that challenge our own way of thinking, we foster an environment to uncover design solutions that have not yet been discovered, perhaps ways of improving the world. This collaborative journey will leave us with a lifelong network of talented friends, one of whom sticks with me as we look to the future. If you're in a room and everyone is in agreement, be suspicious. There's someone whose voice is left unheard.
Showing up for ourselves includes understanding and developing our craft. This is a lifelong process. We cannot be the experts on something we are just beginning, nor should we act like it. We should not even try to place that kind of pressure on ourselves. Continuous learning and creativity will ultimately sustain us and bring us so much joy. Our ideas can be messy. Rarely do we get it right on the first try. This doesn't necessarily mean the ideas are bad, but they just need honing. Take the pressure off yourself to be perfect the first time. Take the pressure off yourself to be perfect at all. Imposter syndrome is the perfectionism that whispers in your ear, telling you that you aren't good enough.
Another wise student shared, there are few things more important than rest and personal well-being. Over the past 5 years and through some tireless nights in the studios, we have not always been able to keep this in mind. I have personally learned that sometimes showing up for others is easier than being nice or showing up for the messy designer in our own heads. I empower you to seek a lifestyle that both pays the bills and allows you time to check in with yourself, to spend time with your loved ones, to ask for help when needed, to be in nature, and to nurture your creative passions, no matter how busy life gets. Few things in life are as urgent as we make them seem, so take a deep breath. Another way to show care is to remain grateful. As one of our fellow graduates wrote, "Thank you to those who have supported me. I've learned a lot, made a lot of friends, and found my passion in the arts."
I would like to personally thank my family, my husband, my peers, and my professors. Your guidance and inspiration through the years has been invaluable.
Thank you to my family for supporting me through this program, and to the 16 people I've had the honor to grow with over the past 5 years in studio. Thank you for continuously showing up as yourselves. I've learned so much from each of you, and I'm so excited to see how you continue to show up.
Showing up authentically means that we acknowledge what we bring to the table and do our best as we begin new careers, new educational endeavors, or as we head out into the great unknown. Many of us will be tasked with showing up professionally, which has its own challenges. When I was 22, fresh out of school with my bachelor's, I landed my dream internship. It was a mess. For 6 months, I felt like I constantly made mistakes, and I felt out of my league. Employees from other departments continuously asked how old I was, a question that thinly veiled their real inquiry: why do you deserve to be here? At this job, I had a mentor who continuously told me, fake it till you make it. This is tried and true, if not cliche, advice that I'm sure many of us are familiar with. I couldn't help but wonder, isn't faking it what was making me feel out of my league? Why couldn't I just show up as my authentic self? We each have a set of skills, talents, and a unique point of view. And now, a degree. We can be honest about what we know and what we are learning while feeling confident in our ability to solve the problems before us. As one of my fellow graduates learned throughout his experience at LSU, I can push myself much further than I previously believed. Show up, and you will surprise yourself with what you are capable of. My internship proved to be a struggle, but I made it to the end, having learned a lot along the way. The lesson I will never forget is that instead of faking it, face the mess. Face the challenge before you. Face it till you make it.
The next few years of our lives will continue to be messy, and this messy stuff can be challenging, but engaging with mess is one of the most incredible gifts that we are given as designers, artists, and creative problem solvers. We already know how to handle mess by honing our craft, showing up for ourselves and others, while exercising care in all that we do.
Congratulations, class of 2022.
We look forward to seeing you show up through the mess. We did it! Hey, we did it. This way?
Thank you both. Now I'd like to introduce you to our graduation speaker. Professor of Architecture and Associate Dean of the College of Art and Design, Tom Safranco. Professor Safranco received his Master of Architecture and his Bachelor of Architecture degrees from Kent State University. He has worked professionally in offices in Florida, Louisiana, and Ohio. His love of the Gulf Coast led him to LSU. He is a full member of the graduate faculty and teaches design studios and construction courses. His research primarily focuses on novice learners and was recently published in the book Developing, Creating, Thinking in Beginning Design. He has been involved with the National Conference on the Beginning Design Student for over 20 years. Professor Safranco has been a faculty member in the School of Architecture since 1992, and prior to his role as Associate Dean, he served as Director of the School of Architecture and Director of the School of Interior Design. Tom Safranco.
Thank you, Dean Douglas. Colleagues, thank you again for the soapbox. Good afternoon to the friends, the families, the supporters of these graduates. Good afternoon to Mom and Dad. I do mean all of the parents, but I also mean that literally. My mom and dad are here. Hey, guys. We take pride in the fact that our students come from across the state, across the country, and around the world. But sometimes that means loved ones aren't always nearby. So to make sure all of you have someone here in the building who's cheering for you, I brought Mom and Dad to cover that base. And they've always wondered what an associate dean does for a living. So pontificating while dressed up in an odd costume, this fairly accurately describes it. Graduates, wow, this is awesome. Can you feel it? There is definitely a buzz in this room. Now, it could be the gymnasium lights, but I think it's something else. I think it's all of you. The potential energy in this room is astounding. It thrills me to try and imagine everything you all are going to do. I'll tell you this, my face is going to hurt from smiling by the time this day is over. God, I love beginnings. Orientation, commencement, I think are the two best days for any professor. That's the reason I work for LSU. The biggest perk, just being around this potential energy. If you haven't guessed, I'm a pretty happy person. And if you knew me well, you'd know I'm the eternal optimist. My wife, who is also here to cheer you on, says I'm aggressively optimistic. And why shouldn't I be? Things are getting better. The world is improving at an accelerated pace. Truly. Here are some totally benign, easily verifiable facts about us on this planet. Absolute poverty is declining. We live longer, more mothers survive pregnancy, more children survive to adulthood. Child labor rates are lower, workplace accidents are lower, there is more access to food, more people than ever before have access to electricity and clean water, more people than ever before have access to education. Is everything perfect? No, that would be a miracle. If you look, it's not too hard to find problems and negativity. Dig a little deeper and you find more. Just remember, the trick is, it works for good too. There's a lot of good out there. Look for it, you'll find it. Dig a little deeper, you're bound to find more. I told you I was optimistic, but I'm not the only optimistic person here. It's most of us in art and design. If you spend all of your time like us, making and questioning, because that's what we do in the college. All of us here are artists and designers. In design mode, we make. In art mode, we question. What we work on is never done. It's occasionally due, but it's never done. In our world, work is a journey. It's a patient search. You can't really engage in that search day in and day out without an optimistic mindset. But it's also not quite that simple. It never is. This is art and design. We recreate the world from the world. We have to ask questions that aren't always so bright and cheery. Things get messy. In his book, The Middle Years, Henry James said about artists, "We work in the dark, we do what we can, we give what we have. Our doubt is our passion, and our passion is our task. The rest is the madness of art." Darkness, doubt, madness, pretty strong stuff for a group of optimistic people. But it's true, making and questioning can be an uncomfortable business. I mean, think of the uneasy lives of Dante, Wright, or Keats, Pollock, Kahlo, Basquiat, the list goes on. The circumstances that lead to the production of great art or design are often far from reassuring. Think of the patrons, the Medicis, Sir Walter Raleigh, Peggy Guggenheim, the Vogels. Whatever they may have had in common, it certainly wasn't an easy, quiet existence. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying you have to be sullen and disgruntled to be an artist or designer. But if it's your wish to lead a blissful, peaceful, unexamined life, you'd probably be well advised to keep art out of it. So, how does one stay optimistic in the face of such disquiet? If we reflect on what you've learned over the past however many years, you'll see that not only are you equipped to pursue your passions, but those same skills that allow you to draw and question and make will also be of great benefit as you navigate life's journey. One of the jobs of an associate dean is recruiting, and there's a good chance that's how many of you first met me. Let me take this opportunity to explain to you that during those recruiting events so many moons ago, I didn't sell you a bill of goods. You have learned some extraordinary things that will help you with more than just your next design challenge. Specifically, you've learned 3 things that I want to talk about: how to fail, how to forget, and most importantly, how to remain on the fence. Now, immediately I see some of you out there considering if you need to contact your local state representative. Failure, forgetting, fence sitting, what is wrong with these people? Don't be alarmed. These are good things. Let me explain. Let me start with failure. When many of you first arrived in your first studio, you sat there trying to imagine a perfect solution, waiting for divine inspiration, waiting for magic to flow from your fingertips. You wanted every line you put to paper to be perfect. You were so quick to erase the moment any line went astray. Some of you sat there for quite a while until you realized the process isn't automatic. We're not all Mozarts. You learned that beginning meant wrestling with a problem. You learned that failure was closer to success than inaction. Starting with something ugly is infinitely better than not starting at all. You learned to put an idea out there knowing it wasn't so great. And then you engaged in some successful flailing. You took it apart, put it back together, refined the questions you were asking, and finally made something positive. You learned that failure must be part of the process. 2 steps forward and 1 step back is the way of the world. How you face that each day is what counts. To your advantage is simply the fact that you've been practicing for 4, 5, or 6 years. So yes, let's be optimistic about failure. If you failed, at least you know you started, and beginning is everything. I mean, how often do we hold ourselves back because it's so easy to find reasons not to begin? I think Goethe captured it best when he said, "Until one is committed, there is hesitancy, the chance to draw back, always ineffectiveness. That moment, one commits oneself, then providence moves on. All sorts of things occur to help that would never otherwise have occurred. Whatever you can do or dream you can, begin it. Boldness has genius and power and magic in it. Begin it now." Good words. Make a friend of failure and accept that it's just the first step in beginning. And somewhere down the road, beyond the studio problem, you'll have other anxiety-inducing, frustrating tasks to do. I don't know, replacing the brakes on your car, helping your mother-in-law navigate Medicare. It's all out there. It's all coming, the beauty and the terror. Faced with that, you'll keep going. You'll realize the process is the same as designing. It will start poorly, you'll engage it, you'll wrestle with it, and then it will improve. We were all taught this as children. Put one foot in front of the other, pick yourself up, dust yourself off. You guys just happen to have received the finest training available in perseverance. Well, maybe the side of the military. You, my friends, know how to trudge. Now let's talk about forgetting. Again, it was probably during that recruiting event I told you that a degree in art and design would change the way you saw the world. I'm here to tell you I meant that literally. Your eyes and brains work differently now as compared to when you started. As an artist or designer, the challenge of your lifetime will always be how to find fresh eyes. How do you keep your eyes sharp, alert, and finely tuned? My advice is to keep William Blake's devil in mind. Constantly ask yourself, how do you know but every bird that cuts the airy way is an immense world of delight closed by your senses five? It's an important question and one we can't answer. What's important is the reminder about what we don't know. If you can set aside or temporarily forget what you think you know, there's a better chance you might glimpse what you don't. You, my friends, will approach the world differently because of what you've trained your eyes and brain to do. With practice, you have become adept at switching your vision between two very different ways of seeing the world. The first way is the hardwired one, which we all possess, where what you see is really what your brain is telling you to see. A world filtered through the baggage of your 20-odd years of experience. We all do that. That's our default setting. That's why when you learn to draw, maybe it was life drawing, maybe it was perspective drawing, you'd often draw from a different vantage point than the one you held. You know, you could have been sitting on the ground and somehow the top of the car, the top of the building somehow got into the picture, that kind of thing. You weren't actually seeing the subject as it was presented to you. You were seeing a view filtered by your brain. You were seeing what you thought you were supposed to see. Eventually, you learn to pause that default setting. You learn the skill of momentarily forgetting. If you can forget the name of the thing you're drawing, if you can forget your personal feelings about it, it becomes easier to see, easier to draw. For you amateur artists out there, try this. If you have a photograph, draw a photograph of a friend or a person you know, draw that photograph, draw that person, and then flip the photograph upside down and make another drawing. Your drawing will improve. You'll kind of forget the memories, the personal feelings about that person, and more clearly see the lines, the shapes, the proportions. By forgetting, you learn a different way of looking and seeing. Most people aren't aware that they choose how to see the world. To your credit, you all have learned the value in just being aware that the view you hold isn't the only one out there. And you will continue to develop this vision of forgetting, striving to see the world raw and unfiltered, struggling and succeeding to shut off or shut out the biases that your brain wants to insert. Seeing the world and withholding judgment. That is a skill that very few people possess, and one that will help with more than just your next assignment. Because Kurtz was right when he told Willard, it is judgment that defeats us. In leadership seminars, there's frequent talk about how to enhance your abilities to become a conclusive, influential leader. It is my sincere wish that you never become a quick and decisive decision maker. Because all too often, we come in with guns blazing, operating from our default, hardwired, self-centered takes on reality. It's rare for any of us to consider things might not be how we see them. With very limited information, we end up passing judgment. Grace takes a moment. It takes some space. You guys have had an education in making space. You have to pause. You have to sit on the fence and try to forget the filter that's there. Take a moment to entertain the possibility that other views exist. You've already been doing this. When you go in the gallery, when you look at the painting, what do? You move your body, you move your head, you position yourself, you try and see the subject in the best possible light. You give it every chance. It takes practice, but you've learned to not immediately jump to, I like it, I don't like it. Instead, you give it some time. You sit on the fence. You ask questions. You appreciate. You consider the terms on which the piece operates, and you consider what to do with those terms. You're all able to say, this isn't my cup of tea, I wouldn't hang this on my wall, but yet it's important work. I'm glad it's here, I'm glad it exists, I appreciate it. In terms of your greater trajectory, I'm very optimistic. Outside the gallery, you'll always give people the same advantage that you give that painting. You'll pause, you'll allow some space, and you'll look to see them in the best possible light. Now, if we can only teach the rest of the world to do that. Okay, one final recollection and then I'll stop. I told you during that recruiting visit that compared to high school time, university time would fly by. Well, I'm not sure time is flying by for anybody right now, but guess what? Time is going to keep accelerating. So promise me this. Promise me you won't let time slip away. Live fast. Time is on your side right now, but trust me, it's right there. It's waiting in the wings. Also promise me you'll burn bright. Make us stand in awe. I don't care if you're on the world stage or at the corner drugstore. Be a spark. Be a streak of red against the gray. The degree you're about to receive is a tool. Go make something beautiful with it. Congratulations. Good luck, class of 22.
Thank you, Tom. Associate Dean Safranco has served in this position since the fall of 2008 and is now stepping down in August of this year to return to the classroom as full-time faculty. We appreciate his leadership and his support and dedication to the College of Art and Design during his tenure as Associate Dean. Representing Dean Alkis Salakis, at this time, we would like to recognize Tom as a recipient of the College Honor Award. Dean Salakis of the College of Art and Design could not be with us today, but he does have a message that I will now read. Quote, "For the last 13 years, the College of Art and Design has been blessed by Tom's wonderful professional and human qualities. The honor award is due to the recognition of his work and our thanks for the gift of his good vibe that has kept us moving onward and upward. Thank you, Tom." End quote.
I gotta say, thank you all. You make it very easy to work at a place like this. You make it very easy for me to do good work.
It's my pleasure, along with the directors of each school, to present the 2022 Honor Award to Professor Tom Safranco. Let's have a round of applause for Associate Dean Safranco. It's now time to do what we all came here to do, and that's to give out degrees. Associate Dean Safranco will announce the names of our degree candidates by area. Professor Safranco.
Thank you, Dean Douglas. As the candidates cross the stage, please note those who are wearing purple and/or gold cords signifying that they are graduating with university honors, having achieved an overall grade point average of 3.7 or higher. We will also be acknowledging those who have been selected for membership into Tau Sigma Delta, the Honor Society for disciplines in the College of Art and Design. Finally, Louisiana State University is pleased to honor graduates who have met the high standards set by faculty members for the communication across the curriculum program. I will acknowledge these distinguished communicators as I announce their names. Professor Marwan Gandor, Director of the School of Architecture, will present the diplomas for the Bachelor of Architecture degrees. Will the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Architecture please rise and proceed to the left as directed to receive your diploma. Braden James Beam. Sarah Beeman. Graduating summa cum laude, receiving college honors from the Ogden Honors College, member of Tau Sigma Delta, and a distinguished communicator, Nicholas Mark Bertucci. Clinton Bowles. Dean's Medal recipient and distinguished communicator, Lucy Bowie. Juliana Claire Cummins. Teresa Ann Dow Doe. Alex Chilton Demestri. Maeve Elizabeth Dumont. Jacqueline Lee DuPont. Grace Elizabeth Gallagher. Member of Tau Sigma Delta, Elaine Holland Garner. Graduating cum laude, member of Tau Sigma Delta and a distinguished communicator, Kelly Elizabeth Garrett. Mauni Halder. Mustafa Sufyan Hamed. Lauren Ray Henderson. Distinguished communicator, Bryce Humbrecht. Distinguished communicator, Benito Juarez Jr. Daekyung Kim. Member of Tau Sigma Delta, distinguished communicator, Hayden Lee Lake. Abigail Grace Landry. Peyton Lauren Matthew. Distinguished communicator, Nathan Robert McConnell. Heather Annelle McFarland. Samuel Chase Methvin. Hannah Christelle Moliere. Anna Grace Norman. Graduating summa cum laude, member of Tau Sigma Delta, Andy Ottenweller. Graduating summa cum laude, member of Tau Sigma Delta, Catherine Elaine Rivera. Lindsay Michelle Ryan. Graduating cum laude, member of Tau Sigma Delta, and a distinguished communicator, Taylor Elizabeth Saxena. Graduating summa cum laude, member of Tau Sigma Delta, Caroline Sherman. Distinguished Communicator, Samantha Silazar. Jared James Sleeman. Emily Kate Taylor. Tanner Nicholas Tyson. Yana Alexandrovna Kachova-Kuzmina. Emily Rose Weber. Chase Welch. Thank you, Professor Gandor. Professor Rod Parker, Director of the School of Art, will present the diplomas for the Bachelor of Arts degree. Will the candidate for the degree of the Bachelor of Arts please rise and proceed to the left as directed to receive your diploma. Shelby Danielle Idell. Courtney Agatha Carroll. Justin Deering. Elise Michelle Gatlin. Robert George Hike II. Christian Hollinger. Cindy Trong Wen. Graduating cum laude with a second degree in science, Amy Lee Register. Danielle Nicole Wilcox. Professor Parker will also present the diplomas for the Bachelor of Fine Arts degree. Will the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Fine Arts please rise and proceed to the left as directed to receive your diploma? Lester Antoine III. Member of Tau Sigma Delta, Namdi Anyelai. Graduating magna cum laude and a member of Tau Sigma Delta, Isla Mae Bordelon Walker. Lindsay Morgan Bromfield. Member of Tau Sigma Delta, Trent Bolt. Graduating magna cum laude, member of Tau Sigma Delta, distinguished communicator, and a dual degree in computer science, Janice Campbell. Graduating cum laude, member of Tau Sigma Delta, Rachel I. Cochran. University medalist with perfect straight A's, graduating summa cum laude, and a member of Tau Sigma Delta, Kaylee Cummings. Graduating summa cum laude, member of Tau Sigma Delta, Ariana Daumau. Jade Camille Dudley. Christiana Noel Idora. Logan Wayne Finnell. Raquel Elizabeth Foster. Graduating cum laude and a member of Tau Sigma Delta, Ashley Ann Photo. Nicole Jamie Frank. William M. Fry II. Jacqueline Elizabeth Gross. Graduating magna cum laude and a member of Tau Sigma Delta, Alexa Hahn Gutowski. Graduating summa cum laude, member of Tau Sigma Delta, Anna Elise Aber. Hudson LaFavor Hodges. Graduating cum laude, Dean's Medal recipient, and member of Tau Sigma Delta, Kyra Nicole Jackson. Kara Jewell. Solomon Leonardo Peter John. Nikia Ternay Johnson. Case Michael Calder. Serena Kingsley Landash. Christopher Joseph Leday. Audrey Melissa Claire Lejeune. Julia Claire Lesage. Jillian Rose Levy. Morgan Grace Lewis. Graduating cum laude and a member of Tau Sigma Delta, Jenna Ray Johnson Lloyd. Grace Maxwell. Patricia Gabriella Musak. Graduating magna cum laude, member of Tau Sigma Delta, Kobe Nakan. Anna Catherine Nelson. Angela Wynn. Graduating summa cum laude, member of Tau Sigma Delta, Robert Van Wyn. Juan Michel Polito. Logan Ray. Sophia Allen Robichaud. Mac Rodrigue. Joseph Kirk Scallon. Rory Louise Schneider. Mary Memory Smelzer. Allison Ray Smith. Azarel Renee Smith. Graduating magna cum laude, member of Tau Sigma Delta, and a dual degree from Humanities and Social Sciences, Chloe Love Smith. Samantha Allison Smitley. Graduating summa cum laude and a member of Tau Sigma Delta, Anna Catherine Souther. Anna Claire St. Cyr. Noelle May Stevens. Madeline Louise Vecca. Christopher Woods. Thank you, Professor Parker. Professor Marcia Cuddeback, Director of the School of Interior Design, will present the diplomas for the Bachelor of Interior Design degree. Will the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Interior Design please rise and proceed to the left as directed to receive your diploma? University medalist with a perfect straight A record, graduating summa cum laude, Dean's Medal recipient and member of Tau Sigma Delta, Noah Charles Adams. Distinguished communicator, Riley A. Burke. Isabella Grace Caminita. Member of Tau Sigma Delta, Mallory Ann Charlet. Graduating magna cum laude, member of Tau Sigma Delta, Chelsea Piku Collins. Graduating magna cum laude, member of Tau Sigma Delta, and a distinguished communicator, Morgan Teresa Curtis. Mary Caroline Dansky. Graduating summa cum laude, member of Tau Sigma Delta, Marini Jean Harder de Blanc. Distinguished communicator, Mary Michaela Dunkerley Ofor. Julia Catherine Fondren. Holly Fox. Distinguished communicator, Catherine Elizabeth Fuller. Donna Catherine Gordy. Zixuan Guo. Graduating cum laude, member of Tau Sigma Delta, Caroline Marguerite Hebert. Distinguished communicator, Michael Paul Howell. Graduating magna cum laude, member of Tau Sigma Delta, and a distinguished communicator, Kenna Hope Kepper. Riley Ann Martin. Macy Elizabeth McAdams. Rebecca Mary Messonnier. Ashley Michelle Moore. Isabel Rose Oatley. Aoife O'Donovan. Jaisha Oliphant. Moin Pasa. Brooke Mary Perriat. Graduating cum laude, member of Tau Sigma Delta, distinguished communicator, Ni Pham. Madeline Melissa Riche. Kaylee Mackenzie Thomas. Lauren Gianna Thompson. Caroline Grace Wedai. Lindsay May Whipperling. Thank you, Professor Cuddeback. Professor Mark Boyer, Director of the Robert Reich School of Landscape Architecture, will present the diplomas for the Bachelor of Landscape Architecture degree. Will the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Landscape Architecture please rise and proceed to the left as directed to receive your diploma. Kana Chrislyn Boudreau, Dean's Medal recipient. Jacob Jude Boudreau. Ashton Nicole Breeding. Connor Logan Burgess. Austin W. Carbo. Member of Tau Sigma Delta, Alyssa Michelle Catanese. Emily Couture. Madeline Kirschner. Justin Malcor, Distinguished Communicator. Denise Martinez. Graduating cum laude, member of Tau Sigma Delta, Keely Elise McCutcheon. Christopher Lee Merrill. University medalist with perfect straight A's, graduating summa cum laude, receiving college honors from the Ogden Honors College, and member of Tau Sigma Delta, Heath William Moser. Graduating summa cum laude, receiving college honors from the Ogden Honors College, member of Tau Sigma Delta, Elizabeth Iko Volden. Graduating cum laude, member of Tau Sigma Delta and a distinguished communicator, Chad Joseph Wilkins. Jiaowin Zheng. Richen Zhu. Thank you, Professor Boyer. Dean Douglas, this concludes the awarding of undergraduate degrees.
Thank you, Professor Sofranco. We will now recognize those receiving master's degrees. Professor Michael Desmond, Director of the Graduate Studies for the College of Art and Design, will present the diplomas. Associate Dean Sofranco, will you please announce the candidates?
Will the candidates for the degree of Master of Architecture please rise and proceed to the left as directed to receive your diplomas? Danita Mayu. Ana Maria F. Durimo. Cody Wayne Pate. Dean's Medal recipient, Arzu Seving. Will the candidates for the degree of Master of Landscape Architecture please rise and proceed to the left as directed to receive your diploma? Elisa Marie Gill. Dean's Medal recipient, Matthew Conrad Hughes. Sasha B. Matthew. James Hunter Moser. Aubrey L. Phillips. Rukshaba Shirin. Carlos Javier Torres Dijanon. Dean Douglas, this concludes the awarding of Master Ceremonies.
Thank you, Professor Safranco. The final set of degrees to be recognized today will be our students receiving doctoral degrees. The Doctor of Design is the first doctoral program in the college and began in the fall of 2017. Today, we award the first degrees for this program. In a doctoral student studies, the role of mentor is particularly strong and important. The student's major professor, assisted by other members of the faculty, closely guide the student's research and writing. Each of our doctoral students will cross the stage today is accompanied by a mentor, usually the major professor. That person will assist in hooding his or her student with a doctoral hood, a symbol of the student's accomplishments and full membership into the Fellow of Academics. Professor Safranco, will you please announce the candidates?
Petrushka Moyes, with Major Professor Dr. Michael Desmond. Richard Doubleday, with Major Professor Dr. Michael Desmond. Dean Douglas, Professor Desmond, this concludes the awarding of degrees today.
Thank you, Professor Safranco. Let's have one more round of applause for all our graduates. Before we leave today, I'd like to give special thanks to a very special group. Would all the parents, grandparents, spouses, family members, and friends please stand and be recognized. Thank you all for the part you play in this learning experience, and congratulations to all of you. Graduates, you have a standing invitation to return to the college, and when you do, you'll find the doors of the college are always open. We know that you are ready for new adventures, new challenges, and you know that our best thoughts and wishes will always be with you. Good luck to all of you. Would all the graduates please stand? So this concludes our ceremony today, but would the guests please remain seated while the platform party and the graduates exit, and then you may exit the field house through the portal you entered. Ladies and gentlemen, a privilege it is for me again to present the May 2022 class of the College of Art and Design from Louisiana State University.
Get that